Category creation is something that people talk about, but it's a lot, but it's extremely hard to do. And I think one of the reasons for that is because to get to a place where a company can really claim to lead and own a category, it's extraordinarily important to get alignment. Alignment really all the way through the organization. Firstly, it has to be an understanding of what is going on in the marketplace and what customers are really concerned about, since essentially we mean by category a selection process or an ability to make it easier for people to choose a solution for a given problem. They have to understand that you understand their problem, and then they have to see you as a logical solution for that. And what we found was that perhaps the most challenging component was getting internal agreement on who we were and what we were focused on and how we solved problems. In effect, everyone had their own opinion. And how do you deal with that issue and resolving that to a place where everyone can stand behind the message that you're advocating as the CMO? That's one of the biggest challenges for a marketing leader, I think. I think the role that Spark has played in helping us with category creation has been quite significant, largely because it's vital that you have a sounding board. You've got to bring a reality into the process, because if you imagine, everyone gets into a huddle. You bring the team together, you're sitting with engineers, you're sitting with your salespeople. It's all good stuff, but it's all in the bubble relating to your own world. And I think one thing that a partner like Spark brings is an ability to confront the bullshit, which inevitably arises, and the ability to test it and be able to be rigorous about that. And not just to do that in terms of providing, personal guidance and advice and counsel, but actually to go out in the marketplace and test those messages. And it took quite a bit of refinement for us to be able to really land on the category of engagement database, which is where we ended up. And Spark's role in helping us get there was non-trivial. One of the most important campaigns for us that helped us in brand sort of development and the category creation was really around a survey that we ran actually in more or less the summer of last year, where we went out to a large number of senior level decision makers in our target enterprise audience. And we asked them about the things that were inhibiting them from achieving their objectives in the area of digital transformation. And we were able, thanks to Spark's help, to create a bridge to the critical issue being the underlying database technology and the linkage to legacy databases as an inhibitor to success, which frankly, we'd not seen any research that had really established that previously, even though intuitively it makes sense. Having the data and being able to present that data was absolutely critical. And in fact, it got to a point where the results from our survey were sufficiently compelling to make it onto the USA Today stat of the day, which, since that's the largest circulation newspaper in North America, that was a huge achievement. And it was actually directly as a result of the work that Spark did for us here in EMEA. So the statistics themselves, I think, played a role. Interestingly, it's the gift that kept on giving for us, because we had initially this tremendous reaction and response, but it frankly gained momentum because people were looking for a reference source to substantiate trends in the marketplace. And we had, frankly, the most robust and interesting way of telling the story that resonated. So for us, it was a spur to not only a campaign that rolled. In fact, I could tell you, we even have coverage to this day, still emerging, that's quoting from our original survey. Of course, we're now in round 2. We're about to field, in fact, we're in the field with our second survey. And our intention is really to sustain the narrative and to create fresh interest and insight. And that kind of information is not just useful in terms of our external communication efforts, but it's also useful in terms of informing and educating our partners and our own sales force as to what it is that we should be opening up to discuss with customers who we believe have these kinds of problems. So it's really helped us in a lot of different ways.